Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of You Were Meant for More. I am your host, Francine, and I am so excited as far as what's coming for 2025. I've recently launched an 8-week program called Ignite Your Confidence, and we are going to focus on the fundamentals of faith, fitness, and finance, because those are the 3 foundations that you need to really break through in this new year. So are you ready to step out into your power and purpose and walk boldly and confidently into your next season? Go ahead and contact me at francineayala.com/men for more. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Are Meant for More. I am your host, and your coach, who is going to help guide you through this week's episode of the single biggest reason why startups succeed and how you get to train yourself to do it. So whether you are just starting, whether you're seasoned, whatever that may look like, I'm sure that there are going to be some tips involved, some ideas, things that are going to get you thinking differently or trying something new. Just stick with me. It's all going to come together. I'm going to share about how everything kind of went sour and went the opposite way for me when I was doing my own business. We all have a story. Successful entrepreneurs always have a story to share. It didn't happen overnight. It was definitely something that had to take place through all the struggles, the pain, all of the different scenarios that took place of like obstacles that occurred in our lives in order to position us to be in the place that we are today. And if you didn't catch it, I did a live in-person show for the first time with my guest last week, Tony Navarez of One Tax Pro. And I want to share a little bit from that episode, because if you didn't catch it, you definitely need to go back and watch it. It was so powerful because to hear from another successful entrepreneur, it really shines the light on everything that entrepreneurs go through, business owners in general, to get them to that level of success. And so I'm going to quickly play a clip so that you can watch.
So I was born in Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
My parents are from Mexico.
Okay.
And I would say that my parents never graduated from elementary school, both of them. So it was an interesting childhood. I was poor. At the age of 8, I was selling oranges outside of the freeways, Bank of America and other banks. Then after that, I sold items in parks just because we needed to survive. I mean, we were really low income. So in my household, it was always about poverty, not having enough. Life is difficult. Life is challenging. Only bad people are rich. That's bad, but being poor was good, I guess. So I remember all the struggles. It was challenging. I didn't have a bed till I was like 17 years old. I slept on the floor. So it was interesting. I come from a family, very humble, amazing parents, amazing community, and I wouldn't give that up. I mean, for anything. It was difficult, challenging. After that, then we worked in the swap meet until I graduated from college, actually. I worked in the swap meet. I was horrible at selling. I was horrible at talking with people, but we had to pay bills. And I was the go-to person for my dad to help with the additional income that was needed just to pay rent. I mean, imagine being a child and there's no Santa Claus, there's no vacations, there's no, we just recently went out and had, sushi and steak, and none of that existed when I was a kid. So it was pretty interesting. It was pretty challenging, but that laid the foundation to who I am now. And I know that you're taking this in steps, so baby steps. So we're going to go with, that was my childhood. Those were my upbringings, my parents. In that, there was some limiting beliefs that became who I was, who I thought I was.
Wow. I love his story. You have to go back and watch it. It is very powerful. I mean, from selling oranges on the streets to sleeping on the floor till he was 17 years old. And he shares more of his story of what propelled him into becoming a very successful business owner. And so definitely go back and watch that. And speaking of Tony, I absolutely love everything that he's doing. He does so much for the community, and he's just a hard worker, and he's a go-getter. And he actually supports business owners like myself. And so for this episode, our first sponsor is coming on board, and it is Tony Navarez and his team at One Tax Pro. And I'm truly grateful for them. So I'm going to share a little bit about One Tax Pro. So here is our sponsor for this episode.
Hi, my name is Tony Navarez. I'm one of the accountants at One Tax Pro. One Tax Pro is a national tax firm that specializes in the service industry for business owners. Our specialty is providing tax resolution, and accounting services that meets the needs of professionals like yourself. Welcome to One Tax Pro.
Awesome. So thank you, Tony and team. I appreciate you all. And you definitely got to get in contact with them. I left their website below, and then I'm also going to leave their phone number, because remember, he helps people. If you didn't watch the show, you wouldn't know, but he helps people all over the world. So wherever you are located, depending on that location, but he is like helping people in different countries, in different states throughout the US. And so make sure that you do contact them. He has a phenomenal team. I know who they are. I love, everything about what he does for his business and how he's supporting his own community. So thank you, Tony. Thank you to One Tax Pro for being this week's sponsor. I appreciate them. So let's jump into this. I have notes, you guys, tons and tons of notes, because the thing is, I want to be able to share with you exactly what I went through as a business owner, entrepreneur, and then, the successes that came out of it, because ultimately you have to go through, like Tony said, you have to lay the foundation is what propelled him forward. So if he didn't go through what he went through, he would have never been who he is today, because it humbles you, it prepares you. And that is exactly what I want to share with you all today, because again, the whole topic of this title is the single biggest reason why startups succeed, and how to train. And so definitely be sure that you stay tuned. I want you guys to, I remember when I used to go to conferences and I listened to speakers, they would be like, okay, listen in, ready? Pull your chair in, sit up straight. Now lean in. So I want you all to lean in and listen to these tips that I'm going to be sharing today. And again, my own personal journey. So let's go ahead and get my notes up, because I want to make sure I cover all the areas. Okay. So here we are going to go into understanding that it's not necessarily rocket science, but it's really understanding that it's ultimately developing who you are. Okay. So it's developing who you are first, so that you can withstand everything that is thrown your way. And so sorry, I put my notes here and then I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to bring them up. So here they go. Okay. So your superpower is the ability to train yourself in everything that you can come into contact with. Because remember, you are the chief officer of everything. So it's basically, the CEO. When you start something as a business and so forth, you manage everything. You're the chief everything officer. So CEO, I love that. Chief everything officer. And know that you have to be the tech support. You have to be the sales. You have to be the person that is closing out the invoices. You got to do the accounting. You got to do all the things, right? So you have to prepare yourself to be in that situation. How do you prepare yourself? You got to mentally prepare for what's to come. And so we're going to get more into it, but I wanted to be able to prepare you all for that understanding that, again, it does start with the mindset, but it's honestly, it's being adaptable. It's being adaptable to new things that are coming. And if you're not constantly moving, and growing, then you're going to stay stuck and you're going to feel defeated. And I remember that. I remember going through that. So, you always hear it, never give up. The worst thing you can do is give up. So you constantly put yourself out there and fail forward. Fail forward as often as you can, and everything will come together. Because I can tell you how many times I personally wanted to just give up, and I just couldn't. I was exhausted. And I'm going to break it down for you, because I was like, as I was putting these notes together, I was like, oh, and this happened here, and this happened there. And, okay, I am so sorry if I'm freezing up on you. It looks like something is happening with the internet, but we are going to go with the flow, because technology is my best friend. Technology is my best friend. I am not going to, remember, the words you put behind things are what is your reality. So if you're like, oh, the computer's always messing up on me, oh, this internet, blah, 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 you don't want to speak negative words out there. So I'm like, technology is my friend. Technology loves me. It's great. So let's keep that mentality going. Okay. So there's going to be constant failure. There's going to be constant, again, and I don't say this to deter you away from your goals and dreams. It's going to be those moments of, like, not even failure, I should say. It's just obstacles that you're going to face. Okay. So, but guess what? When you constantly work the mindset and you constantly work on self developing, you're going to realize that after every situation that is presented to you, as far as like, any type of obstacle, it's going to be like, it doesn't even exist. Okay, that's coming our way. That's good. It's fine. How do you come back from that? How do you reposition yourself for greater? How do you reposition your business to do better? They're all lessons. And so never give up on yourself. It's the thing that people do. It's like, they talk about, businesses fail within the first 1 to 3 years, and that's only if you give up. you know Again, there's always opportunity to, oh geez, the word just literally slipped my head, but it's ultimately to, like, reassess where you're at and where you're headed, and know that you have to have a plan. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get into, like, the areas that, you know, I kind of stumbled upon. And I just want to share these stories with you, because again, everyone has a story. In 2016, okay, I quit my, I don't want to say it was a 9 to 5 job, but it was a job, right? Where I was working for corporate, and I was actually working for a nonprofit at the time. And I wanted to just go off and do my own thing. So I quit with one paycheck, because I was just like, you know what? I've talked about my business consistently for, I believe it was, so that was, no, I had talked about going off on my own for like about 5 years prior to that. But I just never did it. I was always working for somebody. And so this gave me that opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to just, I'm going to take a leap. So it was like really a leap of faith. And I believed in myself that I could do it. Okay. So I quit with one paycheck. And then there was the opportunity to drive for Uber and Lyft. Actually, I want to say Lyft and Uber first, because Lyft is my preferred platform. And then I started to work for a company where I was teaching financial literacy, because I knew I struggled really badly with finances. And remember, we learn from what we know. We gain our information from the people around us and who poured into us. And so I had these, like, really bad money blocks, as mentioned in previous episodes. Like, I grew up with the whole verbiage of, we don't have enough, we can't afford that, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, we don't, we're there was always a lack of. And I definitely didn't know how to manage those types of finances at the time, because I wasn't used to making that type of income. And so understand that it all comes full circle when there's faith, fitness, and finance involved. And you know that that's my foundation for 2025. So what I did was I decided to personally develop. So I started putting money into personal development, developing me. I started working with a coach, and they started to really kind of help me dive deep into who I was. And I was grateful for that. And there were times I couldn't even afford it. It was so awful. Like, I remember getting a call from my coach and letting me know that my check had bounced. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, I was mortified. I was so mortified. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, that that's happening. And I will get it in there as soon as possible. But again, it's just that process of feeling that you don't have enough money to pay someone who has dedicated their time and their value and energy to personally developing you. I was grateful. We had a great understanding coach, but it's still a process of the emotions that were behind it. And so that was in 2016 when I decided, you know what, I'm going to start personally developing so that I can start to grow. And I did. And, fast forward, I decided I was going to leave that other company, and because it was like a network marketing company, and I really wanted something of my own. And so I started my own business in 2019. But guess what? I didn't know how to have a business. I didn't know what that looked like. Nobody in my family had a business. I take that back. My dad has his own business, but it it's something like where, in essence, he didn't start from scratch. He kind of knew how to develop what he was doing, where I went in and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And again, my dad didn't know my industry. My dad didn't know what I was trying to do. He just knew that I needed to go get a job, or I needed to go back to school. We love our parents. They want the best for us, but they don't want to see us, because they don't want to see us struggle. And but I knew that, and this is gonna, of course, it's gonna be a promotion for my show, but I knew I was meant for more. I knew that I had something within me. There was just this fire within me to really make something happen. So in 2019, I started hosting summits and conferences. Okay, so started hosting summits and conferences. I had done women events previously with the Chamber of Commerce. And so I knew how to do events. I said, okay, let's do this. And then the first year, I was negative for the summit and the conference, meaning like I had to pay out of my own pocket. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And it was hurtful, it was devastating, but I was like, oh, this is fine, it's our first year, we'll start to grow and so forth. And so, I mean, I continue to evolve in that sense. And then in 2019 as well, I was like, okay, well, I guess I should start investing more into myself. So that's when I joined a NLP certification program, because I really wanted to dive into how to be how to be a mindset coach, how to work with people to help them develop their own mental capacity, to know, like, why do we do the things we do? Why are we maneuvering this way? Why do we act this way? Why are we involved in, this, in something to its capacity? Or, everybody moves differently. And I wanted to really understand people. And it literally goes back to psychology. If you want to understand human behavior, it's in psychology. But I wanted more. And when I heard about NLP, neuro linguistic programming, it was understanding the patterns and the language and the movements and the eye patterns that we got to understand about people. And I found that very profound. And I was just like, okay, that sounds definitely in the direction I want to go. So I started investing in myself, and I was grateful that they had payment plans. I was all for it. I was like, yes, payment plans, let's do this. And my coaches poured into me, and they poured into me, and they poured into me. And I you know, I've eventually graduated with my certifications. But even then, after I graduated, I still could not come up for air. I was still drowning. And, you know, through every lesson, through every failed attempt of me trying and trying and trying, the biggest thing, like I tell people, is that you build so much resilience within you. And I'm again grateful for every single one of those lessons, because had I not gone through those, I wouldn't be who I am today. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't know how to deal with certain situations. So understand that I'll never forget my coach when I went through one of our last trainings. It was like, we're going to go through a process where we're going to basically think about it. We're going to take a vacuum cleaner and we're going to like vacuum it all out of you, and then you're going to start fresh. And what that means is everything you were programmed with, every thought that you thought to be true, every doubt that you had within you, they were going to take it out and they were just going to rebuild you. And I was just like, okay, let's do it. I was so open for that, because again, we don't know what we don't know until we know. I know that sounds crazy, but it's 1000% true. So we don't know, like, as far as our blinders, what we don't know, because there's certain things on the outside of like right here, until we know. And once we know, there's those aha moments where like, wow, because it allows us to then see something differently and then know, okay, I no longer want XYZ in my life, and I want to be doing ABC, whatever that may look like for you in your life and even in your business. And so fast forward in 2022, I love this story because some people will get it and some people won't. And remember when I say, if you know, I'm going to say, if you know this time. And if you don't know, reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to have that conversation with you. But again, there's a lot of blinders on for people. Okay, so in 2022, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Diagnosed. So if you know, you know. And so what that did, and I'll share, because the thing is, there's so many things out there that people can diagnose you with, but until you really, truly step into your power and purpose, there is no longer a diagnose for you. And when you're ready to step out of that and like I said, step into your power, it changes everything for you. You are no longer being held down as somebody that was put into a box. Yep, I said it. Because guess what? I want more for each and every one of you. And if you know what this means, if that resonates with you, comment, give me a high five. Yes, I understand. Hallelujah, whatever it is you want to drop in the chat if you are joining me live on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn. And, but yes, definitely let me know. Or if you're catching this on replay, let me know. Because the thing is, there's so many things out there that are happening in our society right now that are telling you you're a certain way. Oh, you're this person. Oh, you're that person. And the more and more I see it happen, it just is not true. You're everything God created to be a perfect person, a perfect human being in his eyes. So know, always know that you were meant for more. Okay. And that concludes my show. I'm so joking. But no, it just sounded like it was like an end, right? And I'm like, but it's again, I needed to like really push this home because so many people are told they have this and they're this way and you're labeled. And I remember my coach telling me, don't let them label you. And for the longest time, I didn't really understand. I remember wanting to create a whole Facebook group and a whole community for women with ADHD. And I was like, it wasn't until it hit me that I was just like, oh, got it. They put you in a box. I see. Okay, guess what? I'm sorry. I'm not meant to be in a box. I'm meant to fly. I'm meant to soar. So yes, that is going to be me stepping into my power and purpose every single day and guiding other lovely women to do the same. Okay, let's move on because I can go on a tangent with that one. In 2020, I began training online. So I began doing trainings online for small businesses. I mean, I even launched a 14-day launch your business challenge. So I was all about, okay, like, let's get you to launch your own online business. And it was funny because I had that mentality back then of like, how much do I charge? Who's going to pay me? That's too much. Like, I didn't see the value in my own training. I didn't see what I was offering as to be something of value to, charge a higher amount, right? So you have to really understand that the value, the investment, the training, the knowledge that you put into a particular program, course, any ebook, whatever that may look like, you have the ability to charge what you're worth. And that took me so long to really uncover. I mean, you think about it, like I've put in thousands upon thousands of investment dollars into coaching, into learning and understanding human behavior and how to break patterns from my clients so that they no longer stay stuck in a place. And that is who I am today. And when I do my coaching, my clients have breakthroughs all the time. All the time. And it's the feeling is absolutely amazing. It's something that really brings me so much joy. And that is what I want to give to people. I want to be able to provide that gift. But guess what? I have to charge. And guess what? My coaching, my 8-week program is, I want to say it's like $2,900. And so, because guess what? I mean, that's low compared to a lot of other coaches. Believe me, I know it is. But there are so many people and there's a mission that I'm on to help so many women. And there's payment plans. Just like I was offered a payment plan, there's payment plans. And that one is the Ignite Your Confidence program that I spoke about in a previous episode. But again, I say this to really, truly understand your worth. Know that you can charge what you charge because of the investments that you've made. And my coaching program is that low now because it's going to increase. It's lower now because it was something new we wanted to launch in 2025 and I wanted to do it at a reasonable price. But I know as everything grows, as my time gets shorter, then I want to be able to offer it on a bigger scale to group coaching, which is why I'm able to keep it lower. But anyways, you can reach out to me for more information. So I started off. So one of the things I did is I joined a program. Again, this is going back to the money issues for $97 a month. I did not have $97 a month. This was in 2020. Yes, it was like a marketing program that I was so eager to learn, so eager. And I really wanted to learn it and I couldn't afford it. I paid the first month
I think I remember them saying, oh, try it out. And if it doesn't work for you, you can get a refund. And I was just like, oh my goodness, okay, okay, let me come up with this $100 that I don't have. But I made it happen. And I believe I did it for a week and I canceled it because it wasn't what I was looking for. At the time, I was literally looking for somebody to hold my hand and walk me through business. Because again, remember, I started not knowing. I started not, you know, um, I'm sorry, I just remembered that Facebook, if you guys aren't joining me on Facebook, they probably blocked my video. I think they did. Yes, they did. I don't know why it does that. They put it private to just me. So now I got to open it up for everybody. So I'm sorry. Let me do that. We're already 30 minutes in and yeah, that's too bad. It's okay. I know you guys would have been joining in on these conversations with me. So the $97 again, like I ended up getting my money back because I wanted somebody to really guide me through. And that's why, or my heart is, it's my heart to help entrepreneurs, to help women really get to their next level. And that's why at the bottom you see Wheela Connects Inner Circle, because I want to be able to hold your hand and get you to the next level of your business. And we'll talk more about that later. But I just wanted to share that because, again, knowing that I had to come through so many difficult times to get me to where I'm at today, the mental capacity, the resilience, the fail forward type of mentality to keep me going is what I needed to do to make it happen. And believe me, I got stories upon stories. And really quick, I want to share this last story. It probably won't be the last story, but just in case, was one of the women that I brought in as a coach. She had asked me, she goes, what's your ROI on my summits and conferences? And I was like, what do you mean? Again, this is what I started in 2019. And so in 2021, she asked me what my ROI was. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't understand like what ROI was at the time. And she goes, well, what's your return on investment? And I said, and she goes, what's your offer at your event? I didn't even know I had to have an offer. Guess what? I was hosting these events to help women feel good, to bring them joy, to make connections. And I giggle because I didn't think about making money on them. I just wanted the event to be paid for. I wanted like the sales of the tickets to cover the cost. Remember, I was negative my first year. And when she said that, I was like, "Oh, didn't even think about it." So I was like, "Okay, I definitely need to have an offer." So in 2023, I started really upping like my prices, everything that I was doing. And in 2024, I brought in a business partner and an assistant. And in 2025, I got a mentor, an accountability group, and now my finances are under control for the first time ever. Yay! Let's do a round of applause. And I just share this all with you because you never know the road you're going to face, when you have your own business. Okay. So the point is basically everyone starts somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And the key to embracing the learning process is to not be afraid, to not look, to not be afraid to look silly doing things. I mean, you truly have to just believe in yourself and take that leap, right? Of course, I told you I'm not going to have any stories, but of course I am. So earlier today, I had a friend call me and he asked me basically he just said he was ready to start his business. And I said, okay, well, what's holding you back? And it's funny because a lot of times maybe you've done this. He said, I don't know. And the thing is, we know, our brain knows. It's just there's this block of, I don't know. So then I start to ask questions. And I already knew the answer because I know him. And when he told me what it was, it was that he was like the one that people didn't believe in. And I just knew.
I knew his background, so I understood where he was coming from. And I said, okay, so people didn't believe in you back then. Does that mean that you're going to step into fear of failure? Or are you going to step into confidence and you're going to ignite your confidence? And, it gets him thinking because he knows that it's fear. He doesn't want to fail. Everybody else in his family is successful. So he doesn't want to fail. But guess what? I've known him to do really well in sales, making upwards of 200,000 a year. But yet he doesn't want to take the leap and have his own business. And I'm just like, let's break through that fear. And so anyways, I have to share that because again, that is probably one of the number one things or up there that keeps people from taking that leap and really going out there and starting their own business. We have it within us. Every single one of us has it within us to be great, to do great things, to have greatness, to be able to excel in a career. You just have to be willing to take the leap. And not a lot of people will do that because of the fear. Okay, so told you I was going to give you the single biggest reason why startups succeed. And do you want to know what that is? I feel like there needs to be a drum roll. I don't even know how to do a drum roll. There we go. How about that? Okay, it's not a secret formula, but it's actually resourcefulness. Crazy, right? I thought it was like adaptability, growth mindset, but no, it's resourcefulness. So basically, your ability to not just find the answers, but to learn how to find the answers. It's about developing the meta skill of learning itself. And I was like, okay, I see that happening. But again, mine was adaptability because you have to be so adaptable to the constant changes in a business in order to succeed and stay aware. But I did research and I said, okay, I can go with this one. This one is resourcefulness. And resourcefulness can go in all the different areas, such as meeting people, networking, uncovering an answer to, a solution for a question. It's really, it's being adaptable. It's being resourceful as a whole. So I could see that. It's pretty much the bigger umbrella of everything that you're going to come into contact with. It's wearing all the hats. So it's being the CEO, the what is it? What did I say it was? The chief everything officer. So it's really being that person that can make it all happen. So it is resourcefulness. And I love that. So I wanted to be able to share that with you all. And then we're going to kind of go into a few tips that can keep you aligned with how to be resourceful. Startups are constantly morphing. I'm going to read this one. Startups are constantly morphing, pivoting, and evolving. You need to be a learning machine, I love this, a knowledge ninja, and a master of adaptation. My assistant helped me put that together. So by introducing the concept of like really being able to adapt to every single learning opportunity that you can for your business, you have to be growing. And one of the biggest things that I say is, a lot of people say is knowledge is power. And what I learned is knowledge is power when applied. Knowledge is power. So the ability to quickly and effectively absorb knowledge will benefit your business in the long run. Truly believe that. I already know. You have to apply the knowledge that you receive every single day. So I know I talked about this before, but what are your habits? You're going to realize really quickly that your habits are either working for you or they're not. So what does your day look like? Sometimes, like with my clients, I will tell them one of my to-dos, my tasks is I tell them, give me a daily look at your schedule. So let me know from the minute you wake up what you're doing. to the minute you go to bed. And it's so hard for them. But again, it gets them thinking like, okay, what do I do? So I want them to like keep track. What does their day look like when they get up? They waking up? Do you go brush your teeth? Do you make coffee? Do you have water? What is your routine? And so having that routine and knowing that it's every single day you're constantly doing something to empower you in business is where you will succeed overall. You have to be consistent in doing what needs to be done every single day. And remember in the last episode where I told you to catch the show of Tony and I, Tony was working 7 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days for like 10 years straight. He said he probably took off holidays, not holidays, but like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then his kids' birthdays. But that was it. I was just like, it's a lot. And again, like I'm pretty much working almost every day. Well, no, kind of every day. But I have a routine in place. And that was really hard for me to do. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, my routine gets kind of bumped away if something else comes up, but I'm still every day with that same routine. I wake up, I drink water. Actually, that's my thing. I drink water, I go downstairs, I use the restroom, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I come upstairs, I start getting ready. No, I'm sorry. I do my prayer, then I start getting ready. I take my books with me. I have my Bible that I read every morning, and then also my personal development book. So you have to have a personal development book and of course your Bible to be reading and sharing in what it is that you want to focus on for yourself daily. And one of the books that my mentor recommended, The Power of Focus. So if you really want to excel in your business and get down to really tangible habits that are going to help you succeed, then definitely check out that book. There's a lot of other books, but this is the one that I personally received and I just got it. It's brand new. So I'm going to dive into this as well. But I've been reading books constantly. I've done Think and Grow Rich. I've done 48 Laws of Power. I've done, what else? Outwitting the Devil. I've done so many amazing books that are out there that I highly recommend. So constantly be in that. And if you're not a book reader, like, again, how many books have you started and not finished? You know, again, I'll throw myself out there. That was me. And so when there's a book that I can't necessarily get through, I'll get the Audible. I'll get the Audible. And so I get the Audible and I'll listen to it when I'm driving. And then like, okay, I love the actual book because I get to write notes in it. I'm very old school like that. I love writing notes. Okay. So as we're bringing it to the final, I want to go through the breakdown of what it is. And I've talked about fail forward, right? Yes. Fail forward, dive into making mistakes. You know, don't analyze everything. Just know that there's a lesson and what do you get to learn from it? It's amazing when you figure it out that you're like, okay, I did this. Now I'm going to do this. Okay. Become a content curator extraordinaire. I mean, oh my goodness. If you don't know already, the internet is like a university that has libraries and libraries of information that you can utilize at your disposal for your business. If you want to learn something, I'm sure you can type it into YouTube and it'll pop up. Or you can type it into Google or whatever, oh my goodness, URL link that you use. Type it in and something will come up. I mean, there's blogs, there's podcasts, there's, obviously the show, refer your friends. Definitely do that. And one of my favorites was really getting down to what it is that I wanted, because you have to have goals. You have to have goals and you have to really see those goals, because writing something down is just pen on paper is not going to get you to where you want to go. It's actually feeling it, seeing it, knowing it. When I traveled around the US back in 2021 for 2 months, I really needed to just get away. My son decided to move out, and he was like, "Oh, mom, I'm gonna be 25. I'm gonna move out." I'm like, "Okay, bye, peace." Because 17 and pregnant with a child, it's like it was time for me to just do something on my own, and I took off for 2 months. I sold my car and took off for 2 months on the Amtrak, traveling around the US. Absolutely loved it. I just had a phenomenal time. But I did that to really kind of gain clarity. I really wanted to gain clarity in everything that I was doing. I mean, think about it. I started my business in 2019. And, 2021, I'll never forget my coach asking me what I was running away from. And I was just like, what do you mean? And yeah, I'm sure I was running away. I was running away from so much stress, so much anxiety, so much of the unknown, because I had this business that I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't give up. I was still determined. On that road trip, I even booked a speaking engagement, and I did it with 4 women there. And I loved it. And I had so much fun, but I was like, I did something that was really out of my comfort zone. But every step forward out of your comfort zone is only going to get you further and further in your business to succeed. So the reason why I share this is because you have to be willing to do things that are out of the ordinary. You have to be ready to make a plan. Make a plan for what it is you're going after. That's exactly what I wanted to say. I was like, got turned off. I got sidetracked. And I share that my trip is because I was very clear about what I wanted to do. So again, I didn't just write, oh, I want to go on a trip and then put it away and then I didn't look at it. No, I got very intentional about that trip overall. So that trip allowed me to do something that I've always wanted to do. It brought so much joy to my heart. I love traveling. So if there's a goal in mind that you have, so like, for example, mine is like, I'm already envisioning my future home. My future home is going to be somewhere in Anaheim, where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be able to see the Disneyland fireworks from my balcony. That is a future goal of mine. So I get to think about it and envision like the walkway, the kitchen, the guest table, the upstairs, the balcony, the pool. I get to envision that. I get to really sit with that and feel the feelings of that. That's how you're like manifesting what you want. So it's the same thing if you have goals for your business, for your career, for your life. You have to be intentional about what that looks like. Another example is I'm looking for a new car. So I'm looking online, I'm looking at numbers, I'm looking at images, I'm looking at down payment. So I'm being strategic in my next steps for that car. Same thing. If you're looking to build a business or if you're looking to excel in business, what does that look like? Write it out. Write it out what it is that you want to make in the income. How many clients do you want? Who's going to be helping you with this plan? How many employees will you have, or assistants, whatever that may look like? Be intentional about your business. And again, we have this thing up here called I'm going to forget the name, of course I am. But it's the RA, it's the oh my goodness, I forgot. But anyways, and it's going to allow you to, whatever it is that you're focusing on, intentionally focusing on, it's going to start looking for that for you. I tell people all the time, if you want to go on a big trip, if you want to go get on a show, if you want to go, whatever that may look like to you, if you want to have dinner, in Newport Beach, or, in Miami, or you want to go somewhere, just what does that look like? Plan it out, write it out. I don't know about you, but I get excited, super excited when I start writing down my travel plans. I get so excited. So it brings this emotion, this excitement up. And that's where you need to be. That's the excitement you got to have. Okay, I don't want to go over in time. Find your tribe. This means find your tribe of people that are going to excel you into the next level. I have partnered with so many people in business, and I'm bringing so much to you all in the next couple of months. And I'm excited about it. But these are founders of businesses that you are looking to create or excel in, mentors, networking. You guys get to connect, swap stories, share triumphs and things like that with each other. What it is, like maybe even the struggles. I mean, I love connecting with people, and I miss it because I used to network all the time. Okay, don't be, and said experiment like, I love this. Experiment like a mad scientist. Don't be afraid to try crazy things. You get a chance to try things, use the hypothesis of it, and then see if it works. And if it doesn't work, you get to try something new. Schedule learning time as best as you can. So like with military precision, what you want to do is you want to block out time in your calendar, like even 30 minutes. Like we have an event that's coming up this Saturday. Some of you may know already, but I'm going to be at the Women Rising event on Saturday, February 22nd from 10 to 2 p.m. And I'm going to be one of the speakers. And I'm excited about it because I get to share my own spiritual journey, I should say. And, one of the things is like, we were strategic, Natalie and I, in blocking out 1 hour. We called it power hour. So not every day because our schedules, but we would schedule dates to block out power hours. And you should have that in your business. Block out those times where you're making sales calls, where you're following up with clients, everything. Follow up, the money is in the follow up. The fortune, there you go. The fortune is in the follow up. I mean, this guy followed up with me not too long ago constantly. And I'm just like, you know what? He gained my business. And now him and I are working together. So fortune in the follow up. Know that, you have to schedule that time and be intentional about it and make it happen. So her and I would jump on Power Hour and start inviting people to this event because we know that it's going to have a strong, definitely a huge effect on the women that are there. There's so much that needs to be said, shared, and we get to do it in community. And I love that. Oh my goodness, I love that. And then self-train. Remember, learn all of the skills and apply them to your business. You have no idea, like I said, constantly learn. And guess what? If you don't have the time or the energy to constantly learn about your business, hire somebody that does. Because if you can invest in assistants, people that can do that for you, then do so. But I shared from my own experience when I started with $0. I mean, oh my goodness. Constant negative in my account. You have no idea. I was just a hot mess. But I get to look back and know that only made me more resilient. And so lastly, let me go ahead and share. I was trying to share that as I was talking to you all, but I want to be able to have you all scan the code for the Women Rising engagement. So Natalie and I were on a call we did one of the shows a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So you can scan this QR code if you are ready to go to our event. I keep saying her and I partnered with it, but definitely join us there. There's going to be a lunch, and I'm going to be one of the speakers, and we have a woman named Antoinette and then Natalie as well. And we're going to be bringing God's word and our own journeys and triumphs through our own spiritual journey. So it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a day of just gathering. So definitely scan that QR code to join us. It is unfortunately in person. So those are you joining online, I'm so sorry. Hopefully we'll have an online version for you coming soon. And lastly, I want to share is, I mentioned it briefly previously, but if you are just stuck in this business of yours, believe me, I know what it's like. I'm like the master of being stuck and not knowing to go and which direction and what should I do? The new shining object. Oh, let's go over here. I mean, I am the master at that. But grateful, so extremely grateful for the team that I have now that keeps my little brain right here. Okay, it's not little, but you know what I mean. It keeps me focused because I kept doing this and that and that and that. And my coaches and mentors are like, you need to focus on one thing. So now I'm like, okay, although I have multiple businesses, I do. I don't know if you know that. I have multiple businesses. I'm personally focusing on one thing, but my team, yay, give it up for the Wheela team, is focusing on supporting all the women that I've been wanting to support from the beginning. So if you are a women in business owner or male, because we help men too, and you need that support, that guidance in getting your business off the ground or excelling it, wherever that may look like for you, then join our Wheela Connects Inner Circle. It's going to look like we're preparing you to be a speaker and so forth. But just know that everyone I work with, we start from the ground up in your business. So if you're not looking to be a speaker, that's okay. If you just need social media guidance, if you just need confidence boosting, if you are looking to grow online, if you're looking to just get more views or whatever that may look like for you in your business, I have a phenomenal team of people who are going to assist you in that. And we get to do it with you. And it's so fun. Now, granted, this particular area is going to be just us getting you the foundation of the groundwork for your business. We also have other opportunities with a team that can help you grow it, but that's something else. Other costs are involved. So yes, we have this going on, and I want to make sure that you are constantly excelling and knowing that you are meant for more and that you are going to go out there and change lives because you truly believe in yourself and you're confident enough to step into your power and purpose. And the people, last thing I'm going to say is when you work on here, inside and out, the emotions, the thoughts, because wherever you're focusing on is what's out in front of you. Okay. Know that you got to focus on you inside so that you can start attracting the people that you want, the clients, the relationships, the people that you want in your business. You have to start thinking. My brain is constantly on my business. That's why things are showing up for me. That's why clients are coming. That's why an amazing team has come, because my focus is exactly where I want to go in my business. And now everybody is showing up for that. And that's where you need to be. So know that I am here for you. Did I change it from? Yeah. Okay. I changed it back. So that's the Wheela Connects Inner Circle. I just want to make sure it wasn't still on the other one. So that is it, lovelies, for our show today. I wanted to make sure that you all walk away with really knowing how to excel in your own startup business or even in your business in general, and just have a growth opportunity to make it happen. We're here for you. You know me. You know how to connect with me. You can find me on all social media platforms or on my website at francineayala.com. So thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you. If you're catching this on the replay, say hi. If you caught this live, say hi. Probably won't see it until after because we are ending now. But always remember that you are greatness. God put that within you to be extraordinary, not ordinary. Just know you are meant for more. See you next week.
I want to get to know what you do, what inspires you, what you enjoy.
My ability to lead really impacts women on a larger level because not every woman has the same story or the same journey. So understanding where they've come from and where they want to go helps me be the leader that I can so that I can show up in a space of authenticity for them.